We're going to go ahead and start modeling the automata box. There are a couple of different ways that you can do this. The way that I'm going to show you now is modeling the entire box all in one part file. So you want to make sure that you have these handy and that you can toggle back and forth readily between them. When we're creating all of the parts of the box, we want to start with the bottom first. So I'm going to find the box bottom, and I know that I'm going to have a 4-inch by 5-inch rectangular shape that is extruded to a 1/4 inch thick. So that is the those are the dimensions of the MDF piece that I would have for the bottom. I'm going to go into my part studio. This time we're going to create our sketch, but it's going to be on the top plane. Type N for normal, R for rectangle, and I'm going to go ahead and do my 5-inch by 4-inch rectangle. I'm going to drag that. I don't like that they put that dimension there, so I'm going to drag it out. Double check my dimensions. 5 is the widest. We're good. And Shift E to extrude. I'm going to extrude that 1/4 inch. Click done. And I now have my bottom. Since I'm done with all the planes, I'm going to go ahead and hide them, since everything that I'm going to do is going to be off of the box bottom. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to rename this box bottom, and I want to make it look a little bit more realistic. So I'm going to edit the appearance. I'm going to choose something that looks a little like wood. And the other thing that you can do, which is kind of cool, ooh, that looks gold. You can actually assign material, and this changes some of those density properties. We can choose, let's see if they have MDF. Whoops, my phone fell. MDF. So yep, medium density fiberboard. And we're going to go ahead and change that up. Doesn't change the appearance, but when you do some density calculations, it does change those. Okay, so now what we have to think of is we are going to build our box from this plane up. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to look at my drawings and look for the box sides. So here, this is the box end, which would be either side that the automata is going to go through. And for this one, I need to think about the bottom. Okay, so the bottom of this is going to be the rectangle. I'm going to model thin rectangle and extrude up. So this means that I'm going to model a 4-inch by 1/4 inch wide rectangle. So it's going to look a lot like this. Okay, so we're going to go to the top face. I'm going to type N for normal. Sketch on the top of this. Grab our rectangle tool, and this time I do want a corner rectangle because I'm going to draw it from the top corner, the front corner. So here, I'm going to create our rectangle, 1/4 inch thick material by 4 inches long, and there we go. So I've got my rectangle that I'm going to extrude up, so Shift E. That piece was 4 inches tall, so I'm going to extrude that. Make sure that my material is going the right way, and it is. So this time it is a new part, so I'm going to go ahead and click New, and we're going to rename that part Box Side. I'm also going to make it the same color. I think that's the right color. And I am going to assign material real quick. MDF. And there we go. One thing I do not have on my box side would be the hole that's in the center. Okay, so to do that hole, we're going to create our sketch on the side, and we've got to figure out where that center point is for this for our square. So I'm actually going to add a point, and I'm going to go to find that midpoint over here. I'm going to drag it in. Oops, let's see, I lost it. Drag it in, and look, it pops up where those yellow dotted lines pop up where that midpoint is. So just real quick, let's dimension and make sure that we got the center. So from the outer edge to the center point is 2. And then from top to bottom, and I'm actually going to go the top of the square to the center point. That way I'm not including the bottom piece. So that's 2 inches by 2 inches. Since this is a 4 inch by 4 inch square, that is center. So that's good. Okay, so double click back into that sketch. I didn't mean to escape out of it. Let's do a circle. So C for circle. And if we look at our plans, that should be a 1/2 inch through hole. I'm going to go ahead and dimension that. So D for dimension, 0.5, accept, Shift E, and we're going to go through and oops, remove and accept. So we have now created the box bottom and the box side. The next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to duplicate that, and the way that I'm going to do that is actually going to be a mirror. So to do the mirror, you have to have a plane that you're going to mirror about. I'm going to bring up this plane, and we are going to do a midplane. So the midplane is asking for, well, what do you want to be in the middle of? Well, I want to be in the middle of this side and this side. So you'll see I have this plane pop up. Now, honestly, I probably could have turned on one of our default planes. Yeah, that right plane actually could have been one that I could have done too. So this gives you a couple of ideas of what you could have done. But now we're going to use that mirror command, and I am going to part mirror because we are mirroring this entire part. And my mirror plane will be over here. So once I do that, I'm going to accept, and you see that I have a new part. A little bit confused there because when I accepted this, you see that my parts, the different parts kind of disappeared. Well, that's because I hit add and not new. So I want to make sure that I hit new so that I have a third part down at the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and rename that box side 2. Okay. We're going to go ahead and stop the video for this right now, and we'll do another video for the box back and the box top.